Hi, this is Once to Watch Chef's Choice. I'm Abby Kenna, and today I'm joined by Glixen, all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah.
How are you?
Oh, I'm so good. I love how cozy this situation is, honestly. We don't usually get like bigger bands, but it's like a lot of what the music I listen to is, so it's cool to have you guys here.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, and you're on like a short LA trip. How often are you guys visiting? Or is this your first time here?
No, we
Okay.
come like once every other month.
Oh, that's a decent
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah.
Okay.
Phoenix isn't too far, so it's like pretty decent drive. It's cool.
That's
We've
true.
been touring. We got off tour like in October, so it's the holidays.
Sure.
We spent home, and then now we're here right before tour.
I know, I was
doing
gonna
press
say.
stuff. So.
And you're going right back out there.
Yeah.
How do you guys like touring?
Oh, we love it.
Yeah.
We love performing.
Okay.
It's just like, it's hard. I mean, that's what it is. That's what it means right now.
Yeah.
But the goal is for it to get better and easier. But you gotta
Yeah.
do the work. So
Some people like really thrive off of that, like no sleep, like show after show after show.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sounds terrifying to me though. Yeah.
I like
cool.
it. We find our ways. We focus on eating good, and like we take turns on driving.
That's sweet.
We have like set things to make it
Yeah.
easier on us.
Like
so,
a chore chart for roommates.
Yeah.
But,
Totally.
Yeah.
but it's tour.
So yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you for being here for our little taste making podcast.
Thank you.
And we're going to go through a 3-course meal of your music. So to start, I'd love to know, and like, feel free to have different answers. You are independent individuals. If listeners had never heard your music before, where would you tell them to start?
I think that we all agree on Splendor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, unanimously we're thinking about it. It's Splendor. Splendor is like we always wanted to write like a pop song,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that's pretty much what that song is, and I love playing it live. It's so much fun.
Okay.
Real.
I love that.
When we were writing, I mean, we wrote that in like 2020.
Sure.
So, we would just, me and Esteban would just be locked into this room. It was just like all red in this room, writing that
That's
song. I don't know. I wanted it to sound crazy too. Like it initially had like delay, like reverse delay. So it sounded really crazy.
Okay.
But then we went into recording and it was like, it didn't really translate well.
Okay, yeah.
So we kind of toned back a little bit, but it still sounds so sick. Like we still like it. Like
yeah.
you remember we were doing that with it?
Yeah, it was this tiny room. It's so cool. We had like huge amps, so I just remember playing it incredibly loud in this tiny space, and
Right.
like just red lighting. It was very, very cool.
That's when we first started writing together.
Yeah, it was insane.
Like Splendor, Mood Swing, and Sugar Cube. Like
Those were some of the
the
first.
first
Yeah.
that we wrote.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, how did the band form? I'd love to hear the backstory.
I think like 2020, I had a band, and yeah, we broke up, and I really was like wanting to start something new, something serious, and something, just a whole new thing. And I had a vision and end goal for music. And Esteban, I asked him if he could make music with me, and we did that. And
We did that.
we did that. It was like COVID time, like lockdown.
Sure.
So we were writing a lot, and Kier was already drumming for like, we were roommates too. So that made it easy. And I asked if he would be down to drum.
That is convenient.
So-
Yeah.
and he wasn't really
I really wasn't even a
yeah.
drummer. Like I kind of just started to take it seriously only for this band. Like
Wow.
it wasn't like I was like the worst, but like I didn't know how to write parts. I didn't know how to hold sticks. But
Oh my
I could
gosh.
keep time. But like I don't know. It took a while to really hone it in.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about this on a podcast earlier today, but I feel like sometimes like a lack of like experience or like almost like a music theory knowledge lends itself to like more creativity, which
Yeah.
is
Totally,
kind of
yeah.
cool. So how did you end up joining the band then? Were you the last member?
Me and Iselene have been best friends for 10 years.
Oh my God, amazing.
And I'll hold it. But I bought my first instrument in December 2019, and then
I think I was so nervous to ask her too. Because
Yeah.
it's a big deal. Like, that's like,
To
we're
ask
best
her to be a
friends.
part of the
like,
band?
and like, it's like a relationship. Like, it's different. Like,
Yeah.
because I envision, I'm like, this isn't just, we're not just going to be playing show. Like, we're going to be touring. We're going to be like,
Right.
I envisioned 10 years. Like, I envisioned like years, not just like,
Yeah, like there's an opportunity to lose both the friendship like and the musical
Yeah.
relationship.
Yes.
Totally, yeah.
and I asked it, like, I had a couple bass players before and it just didn't work. And I just kept thinking of her in my head. And I'm like, okay, like,
So you didn't play bass originally and then you learned it for the band.
yeah,
That's so sick.
she bought it before knowing she was going to be in a band.
Any band.
it was really cool how that happened because I've always wanted to be in a band, and I grew up with a lot of musicians in my life. My brother, my best friend, like just going to shows and always wanting to do that. And then quarantine happened, and I felt like perfect opportunity to explore that. And then her asking me to be in a band was just meant to be. It was like an opportunity that I couldn't say no to. And also, I feel we all have really great chemistry, and that's really important
Totally.
in a band and forming a band that's gonna last.
It seems like each piece sort of was like serendipitous. It just like made sense. And you guys were like musical collaborators first, or like friends, high school?
In my last band, we needed another bass player. He was that bass player at the end of the band, and that's how I met him. And we got pretty close because love the same music. Like
Sure.
we're in love with the same music. And we needed a drummer for that band too. So that's when he started drumming, and then whatever happened.
It all happened,
and
yeah.
I don't know. We just got really close. Like
Sick.
after that,
Yeah.
we've all been through stuff together. Like
Totally. Okay, so Glixen formed and you started playing out in the Phoenix music scene. Like, how did you get from just like a bunch of people who started playing together to now like going on tour opening for like huge bands? That's crazy.
So 2020, like we were just practicing, and that was a goal. We wanted to play shows, and I already knew like all the venues and like all the promoters and stuff in Phoenix because I was playing shows already. Esteban too, he had his own band. He still has his own band. He was also playing shows. Everyone is kind of waiting for us to play a show in Phoenix because I was in a previous band, and like, oh, what's the next thing, you know?
Right.
And then shows started happening, and I planned like, okay, I want this first show to be really special. So I planned like warehouse, like beautiful white warehouse, like
Sick.
visuals. I wanted an open bar.
Awesome.
We made merch, like little Walmart tank tops and like Walmart Hanes t-shirts with like just the Glixen logo on it. And we printed that ourselves. Like the first few runs, like we did that. We printed everything. But yeah, that show is really special. Like it sold out. It was like 275 people.
That's really cool.
Phoenix is really supportive, and it's special there. So
It sounds like it. And it was it like a sort of like a social media craze that happened where like people started to find your music, or was it really like a homegrown situation?
it's like snowball. Like the timeline even goes back to like our first show in LA with Geyser.
Awesome.
Like,
Yeah.
Sean, like they're the ones that had us open for them in Phoenix. Same with Cowgirl Clue. Like
Sick.
she wanted us to open for them in Phoenix. Just a lot of like cool artists and musicians like knew about us because of social media, and we would just open for a lot of people in Phoenix.
It's kind of like interesting because like people want to move to LA or like New York because those are the hubs, but you sort of like found your way to the bigger scenes because you were like the cool local band.
Totally, yeah.
They were like, who do we get to open for us? And then all of a sudden you're accessing all of these different communities.
Right, yeah.
So
When we got asked to play or to tour with Cowgirl Clue, that was our first kind of long tour.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like you get an opportunity like that, and we were still in our early stages and saying yes to that,
right.
and learning what touring is like. And I feel like the Cowgirl Clue tour did a lot for, like, we got to show our music to a lot of people.
Totally.
that didn't know of us before.
Yeah, like we opened for Glare because they wanted a show
Super
in
cool.
Phoenix, and then later that year we went on our first tour, which was in Texas.
Okay.
So it was only like a week,
Yeah.
and that was amazing. And then our friend Doug from Tagabow, he found our single and he emailed us, was like, hey, like, I love I love that song. Like, we should talk. And
Mm-hmm.
he introduced us to Matthew, who he does like booking and works and stuff and manages over in the East Coast in New York. And he was talking to us and talking to me. He's like, you guys should really come to the East Coast. Come out, like, please. And I was like, I have no idea how to do that. I'm like, how do I even start? I like called him. I'm
Right.
like, that costs so much money. Like, how do we like? So he booked like all the shows for us. It was just 5 shows.
Yeah.
And the part that's hard is like getting there, like getting our merch, ordering the merch, buying our tickets, figuring out like transportation, like, and having to go to work and having to pay bills. And that was literally like us playing there, and like especially our New York show. That was our first show in New York.
Wow.
Somebody, she saw us play, and we had coffee with her the next morning, and she's like, you should play this festival. And then she introduced us, and we played the festival,
Wow.
and it introduced us to our agent.
Yeah, it really is just like when people see you and like are
Yeah.
like inspired by you, then they sort of like bring you along with them.
Hmm.
That's so sick.
And it just snowballed into that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. Well, you're gearing up for another tour. It's United States tour. Yeah, okay. Just checking. I didn't know if we were world tour yet. Yeah, okay.
I'm really trying to go to Japan when we do. That'd be so sick.
That'd be so sick. Love Canada. That's beautiful
Yeah.
North American experience.
Yeah.
But as we're like stepping into this EP era that we're leading towards, I'd love to know what the main course of Glixen is right now. Like what best represents where you're at in your artistry.
For the EP, like we were already toying with the idea of becoming heavier sonically and visually. So like Sick Silent is a song on the EP. I think that does that really well. There's like melodies on there. There's like us experimenting a little more with like this kind of darker sound, but having this like playful kind of
Melody.
reverb lead. I don't know. It's
Vocals too.
yeah, the vocals.
Okay.
I'm like singing on that song too now. So
Okay,
introduced
sick.
us to new territory where we're kind of both singing. And
Yeah,
that's,
that definitely is a heavier sound, I would imagine.
yeah,
That's cool.
It's a lot of fun. We're
I mean, Sugar Cube to Sick Silent, that's a crazy switch up.
Do those like go into one another on the EP?
Sugar Cube is the first single that we released. And
Okay.
it's like really bright and like airy and more
Sure.
dreamy. Like, and it was like my first song that I kind of wrote by myself.
Okay.
So
Sick.
it was just like, it's just different, you know?
Yeah, it's like opposite sides of the same spectrum.
right. Yeah.
The shoegazy sound. Yeah. Would the rest of y'all agree? What would your main courses be?
Ooh, I think the main course, at least for me, it would probably. No, honestly, I think Sick Silent might be the answer
Okay.
for that. Yeah.
Okay, unanimous. I love it.
Sick.
I'd love to know like what the writing process looks like for y'all. Like, are you, all 4 of you writing together? Is it like you're bringing like a half-finished song to the band? Like, what's it look like?
Iceline and I will write, like I'll write like a guitar riff or something, and I'll come to her with it, and then she'll just sing over it, and we'll just maybe loop that idea over and over, and then just build upon that. That's like one of the ways we do
Okay.
it.
We spend like days, like all day together. We'll start with ideas, and then we'll be like, okay, let's find the structure. Let's do this. Like, we'll just start with the guitars, with the structure.
Yeah.
And then we'll write the bass.
Mm.
And then once we do that, we show Sonia, and then we show Kier the song, and he'll write the drums.
So,
And we'll be all together, like after we write basically the guitars, we all kind of like write together.
do
after
the
that.
instrumental part.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Got
That's
it.
like when the song becomes like alive, and then
yeah,
there's suggestions thrown out, like what can we do to make this feel more like
Okay.
this.
yeah.
Sometimes to make it a little easier too, we'll even like take their guitars and record them and then record the bass, and then I'll just like write to
Oh.
that so I can just have as much time like,
Yeah.
to kind of
Peer
like
records all
embody
this.
their vision.
That's cool. Okay, so you're recording who's
No,
producing?
I just do demos.
He'll
That's-
Okay.
record our demos.
Yeah,
Oh,
I do our
Beautiful.
our boo boo demos, and then
You gotta have them.
yeah, but it's like nice though to have like a reference, and like sometimes, especially now that like me and Iceline don't live with each other anymore, like just the more time like I can get to write, I feel like just the better. So like
Totally.
it's nice to have it recorded
Yeah, that makes sense.
in any form, even like a voice memo.
Right. And would you say that like most of like the context of like the songwriting is coming from like your experience, or is that also sort of like a collaborative effort?
It's collaborative. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's like my feeling, or sometimes it's
Totally.
Esteban's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
We just have fun, like whatever we feel like, like, oh, I really want this song, like all tied up, especially this is on Quiet Pleasures. Like
Cool.
I feel like that one's very like the feeling that I wanted to make.
Sure, yeah.
And then like Sick Silent is very Esteban. Like Esteban wrote the crazy heavy like power riffs. I can't like
Totally.
like the Star. It's like the vocals and him. I don't know. It could be anything.
Okay. Exciting.
Like-
Do you all sort of like share the same like music taste, or do you feel like there's differences in what you all listen to? Like, I'm curious what your influences are individually.
I think we do share the same music taste.
A lot of
There's-
overlap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Like, I know Sonia likes I mean I love like we all love the same things,
Yeah,
but some of us listen to different things more.
yeah.
If that makes sense.
I'm
Like,
always curious with bands because, like, obviously Glixen has a sound, but it's like, who did each of those elements come from?
Totally. Yeah.
You know?
yeah.
So I didn't know if one of y'all was like really into like bubblegum pop. Like, that could be awesome.
Gotcha.
I like bubblegum pop.
Okay.
Wait, what does that mean?
Like,
Who's bubblegum pop?
like, I don't know if you're like an Ariana Grande head.
Oh,
Like, you could be.
we love, yeah.
We love girl.
We
pop
love
stars,
girl.
so.
Like Doja Cat,
Oh.
Ariana Grande,
Yes,
Charlie,
of course.
Baby Doobie.
That's right. All of the hits.
Yeah.
Sick.
We love them.
Right. But you all kind of like overlap in like the shoegaze and like rock world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Like I grew up in Illinois, so I really like
Okay.
emo music and like math rock stuff.
I was going to
Like,
say you're on
yeah.
that Midwest emo stuff.
Yeah, I like used
Okay.
to be in like an emo band when I was in high school. Like that was my whole thing.
I love that. I'm on that wave, so I get it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Esteban's
Cool.
really into. He was really into metal, like black metal, like when he was younger, which is crazy.
Yeah, my aunt showed me a lot of metal bands, and then
She's awesome. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I love her. Yeah, she got me into like the sort of sound, and then I started learning how to play guitar, so I'd play those styles a lot.
Totally.
And then at some point, I decided like maybe I don't want to play metal. Like I don't want to be like in a metal band. But
Yeah.
from there, I kept like learning and just listen to rock, listen to like techno music, and just kind of
Techno,
Yeah, like-
industrial.
Yeah,
we
like-
love.
I was at a certain point I was just like, how do I mix all this together? How do
Yeah.
I take my love of metal and Bjork and just
Sick.
like all this other stuff like
Yeah.
That's why I love his writing and like his style. Like when he's playing guitar and playing chords, and he thinks very much differently than me, but I love it. And like
Yeah.
I write more like light and like I guess more like cute like I always try to like feel like when he's writing his chords, I'm like, I can't, like, how'd you write, like, how'd you think so dark, like,
Right.
but then I want to add that like sweetness to it.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think that's where like Glixen, like we have that dark and light. Like
The
I want to do
balance.
both,
Totally.
you know,
Yeah.
be able to just feel both, you know.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, I'd love to know for the dessert track, like an upcoming one that is one you're especially looking forward to releasing.
Ooh. I guess it's not released. We got like 2 more songs that aren't released
Awesome.
that we haven't put out as singles. And
It's
one of
just
them
gonna come out.
Yeah, one of them
Yeah.
is instrumental.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That song is crazy to play live.
I guess that is like a
especially.
dessert. Shut Me Down.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
always play it last.
Yeah, it's called
It's
Shut
just,
Me
like,
Down.
all
Because-
feeling.
Oh.
That song's just like sonic assault.
Yeah, it's just
Like-
like our
Like a
our-
wall of sound.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
probably
it's,
like our
Cool.
loudest song, like
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's
you
the
like
one that
heavy stuff,
people
you'll
can
love
go
it.
crazy too.
Mhm.
Okay.
Dude.
That's cool. I feel like people don't release instrumental stuff too much anymore.
Right, yeah.
One
Unless
of-
it's like an album, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the first songs that we wrote, honestly. We've been playing that song since 2021.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
and every time we play a show, we always get like, what was that song? Like, what was that last song? Like, is it out?
Okay.
Like, it's
Yeah.
gonna be.
So that was cool. Like the point of that song to get it recorded, I was like, we wanted this to sound the way it does live.
Right.
And Sonny DePerry was able to like, he came to see us in LA when we played and he heard it and he just helped us translate that, like, you know, word for word essentially, like
That's great.
onto that EP. And I think it sounds insane. Like
Cool.
so cool.
It was only like one mix.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very
Yeah.
quick. That was the quickest one.
Like,
Okay.
like, all right, this is that. Yeah, that was it. So
That's real hard to translate the live feeling.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to hear it.
initially our dessert was Lick the Star, but that one's released.
Mhm.
Okay.
But Lick the Star is like, that's the first song I don't play guitar.
Okay.
That's where first song where I'm just singing.
Yeah.
And I love we love performing that one.
Yeah, that's
Um,
special.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I've always just wanted to perform and
Yeah.
sing without my guitar.
Yeah, you get
So-
to put it down.
hmm
Yeah.
I love that.
And connect and watch the crowd and look at them and
Cool.
interact.
Yeah, just a pop star moment. song.
That's awesome. Well, I have 3 final questions for y'all. I would love to know if Glixen's music was a candle, what would it smell like?
I just feel like the scents that we love. We love I love Le Labo, like the matcha scent.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like that's or Scarlet Poppy by Joe Malone.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
That to me is
We were
good.
just talking.
Yeah, we were just talking about fragrances. We love fragrances.
Okay.
Yeah, to me, a Glixen candle maybe, like bergamot, fig.
Yes.
Nice.
It's, like,
maybe
warm.
light, natural vanilla.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a
Something like that.
like a light vanilla.
Like moody,
Nice.
sensual and moody kind of scent. And I always imagine like earthy, but also like there's a sweetness,
Totally.
warmth, like vanilla or like cherry.
Okay. Love that.
Yeah.
Cool. My second question is what your favorite sound is right now, but like not a music sound, like a life sound.
Ooh, toddlers laughing. It's like the cutest thing ever.
Toddlers
like when
laughing.
toddlers just start like have you ever just, I don't know, it's just like
no,
a little,
I'm
like,
so with it.
like it just I don't know.
Like I did that. I made that kid laugh. That's so, yeah, that's precious.
Toddlers laughing is crazy.
you would never.
I know
It's
exactly.
beautiful.
It makes
I'm
me
just- I did not
instantly
expect you to
happy.
say that.
Like I was having a bad day the other day. I was at work and like this family was in, and this little kid just kept giggling. I was just like, I'm happy.
Me
I don't
too,
know.
yeah.
It just made me happy. I started giggling.
That's sweet.
I just love the sound of like running water, like during a shower.
Mhm.
That's nice. That's soothing.
Yeah.
Love that.
I like the sound of Stevie cooking.
Okay.
I like the sound and the smell.
Love
It's like
the sizzle. That's a good one. Those are all very good. We can always move on to our last question too. I would just love to know who your ones to watch are. So like artists you're listening to that we should be listening to.
Right now I'm listening to a lot of Journal. They're a band from Phoenix. They're like
Okay.
a screamo band. They're really, really good.
Journal's
Sick.
really sick.
I love that band.
Okay.
She's green.
Oh,
Okay,
definitely.
yeah.
And
Totally.
They're incredible.
Love
Like,
them.
I'm so happy they're doing the whole tour with us.
That's dope.
And I don't know, we saw them for the first time in Davenport, Iowa.
Okay. Of
At
course.
the
Shout out
Rock
Davenport.
For real.
It was a very special show. It was like one of our first headlining shows, like it was like in between two tours.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were on tour with Soft Colt and then Glitterer. So
Totally.
right, the in between, we had to like get to the other stops.
Mm-hmm.
We had to get those shows, and She's Green opened, and we fell in love, and we cried
Oh.
whenever they when
It's so sweet.
when a band
Wow.
can make me cry live. Like,
They're good live.
Like,
if you
that was
ever
an
get the chance to see
incredible-
them,
I hope so. Yeah.
they'll be our supporting act
it's like
for this
the
tour.
same
That's
feeling
it.
I get when I listen to Slow Dive.
Okay.
Yes, I was
You
just
know.
thinking that. Yeah.
It's like
Wow.
that feeling. I don't know. It's so beautiful. But they're their own thing,
Totally.
you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, those are my questions. Thank you guys so much
thank
for
you.
hopping
Thank
on
you.
and making the time. I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, once again, to the disembodied voice. This is
Yeah.
Once to Watch Chef's Choice. I'm Abby, and this is Glixen. Catch them on tour.
Thank
Yay.
you. Thanks for having us.
Of course.